Texas lock on Lubbock. A beautiful fall afternoon with a lot of wind up there. It'll be a factor. We've got the Baylor Bears, and we have got the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Hello, everyone. So glad you could join us with my partner, Ben Lieber. I am Eric Collins, and let's start with the Baylor Bears. So much change with that program. The biggest change, their head coach from a year ago, Matt Rule, off to the NFL. That meant that Dave Aranda got an opportunity, and everyone knows Dave Aranda's a defensive guy. Well, his defense at Baylor's starting to play like he wants him to right now.
Yeah, you go back a year ago, and this defense was fantastic at taking the football away. This year, early parts, not so much. Only 3 interceptions up until this game at Iowa State. And then guess what? 3 interceptions in just the first half. They say it's attention to detail in film study starting to pay off. This secondary is confident. They've got swagger. They've got the juice. Anytime the ball's in the air, watch for these guys attacking it.
Well, if you follow college football in any regard, you know that Texas Tech over the last 2 decades has put up just wonderful offense. But this year, the offense is going about it a little different way.
Yeah, most offenses want to run the ball to set up the pass. Well, these guys, I think when they're at their best, they get the ball down the field deep. They do that, then it sets everything else. The run game, the screen game, the quick game. And again, go back to last week, stagnant in the first half against TCU. Second half, they get some shots down the field. And then all of a sudden, their offense starts to pick up more efficiency, more production. They get the ball down the field. And one of the guys to watch out, Eric Ezukama, the man they call Easy, one of the best wide receivers in the Big 12. You can take a look at those rankings. Watch out for him down the field today.
This is a series that goes back a ways, but they haven't played in Lubbock in a while. Last time they played in Lubbock was 2008. Remember, they used to always play the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Last year they did play in Waco, and this year they're in Lubbock for the first time in 12 seasons. Classic autumn day. A little bit of crispness in the air, but still 76 degrees, but maybe the wind will be a factor. 29-mile-an-hour winds. We're being told gusts up to 40 miles per hour.
And if you're a Red Raider fan, that's important because we're going to have a new kicker in Jonathan Garibay. So he's going to come out after a junior college transfer from California. His first action is on a windy day in Lubbock.
Well, we've already had the coin toss, and Texas Tech, they won the toss. They've deferred the decision to the second half. So that means that Baylor will receive the football, and Texas Tech kicking into the wind. So this is our first opportunity to really gauge the wind, as Jonathan Garibay is going to put toe to leather. Got to kick in between those 30-mile-an-hour gusts. All the way into the end zone. Impressive leg strength, and the ball will be placed at the 25-yard line with the Baylor Bears on offense. Let's take a look at the starting unit. Start with the front 5 up front in front of Charlie Brewer.
Well, they're starting to find some continuity with those 5 guys up there, but watch Jake Burton, number 73. He's the transfer from UCLA that they really like, and he's starting to really come on. The skill position guys, R.J. Sneed. I think everybody in America saw the catch from last week. He's the playmaker down the field.
Baylor just 1 win on the year. It came way back early in the season against Kansas. Trying to get off the schneid. Brewer to throw on first down. Pass is complete. His young tight end, Drake Dabney, true freshman from Cypress, Texas. Had 3 catches last week. Picks up a catch on first down.
Well, you see the numbers on Brewer. It's the lowest completion percentage he's had so far as a starter at Baylor. So things like that, like you just saw, the quick passing, those easy throws over the middle, it's paramount that he gets started fast early in this game.
Craig Squirrel Williams is out for the year. Hurt his knee a week ago, so the tailback is Quaylen Jones. And this is Jones with his first touch. On 2nd down and 2, he tries left tackle, picks up 5 yards, and a first down for Baylor.
Well, just as I was talking about, Jake Burton, number 73, the right guard, he pulls on that, and he's able to seal off on the left side.
Quick snap, and it's Jones again. Big hole out to midfield. They like this kid. They talk about his power. 5'11", 230 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big boy. When he gets running downhill, that's a lot of power hitting the secondary.
13 yards on that carry for Jones. 3 in a row. And this time tough sledding, only about 3 yards. On his back is Colin Schooler and Tyree Wilson, a gain of 3.
Well, right now, if you're Texas Tech, you're going to have to manage the tempo. It's one thing to practice the tempo during the course of the week, but when you get into the game, it's much different. Here's a look at their three-man front. You can see Tyree Wilson in there for Eli Howard. He's a little banged up. And Tony Bradford Jr., one of the stalwarts up there. Krishawn Merriweather and DeMarcus Fields in the back end. Two guys to watch on the second and third level.
First time in 3 weeks that Tony Bradford's been able to play. That's a big addition for Texas Tech. Quarterback keeper and a short gain. It'll bring up third down.
And again, that's a part of getting Brewer in a rhythm. It's not so much the quarterback designed run game. It's these extended plays. Watch out for that through the course of this game. If he gets pressured, he's really good about those second plays, those second efforts, getting out on the outside and find the open receiver on those extended plays.
Third down and 5. First drive of the ball game. Treston Ebner in the backfield. He's the safety valve for Brewer. And Ebner with the catch. And the catch is complete, but it's going to be short of the line to gain. It'll be fourth down. Ebner's so good out of the backfield, just didn't have enough chance to get the feet going.
Yeah, he's really good out of the backfield. They like him. He's more of a slot receiver, but you see how close he was. They go for it here on fourth down.
A quick snap, and I don't think he got there. Nope. They tried a sneak attack, and Ebner was denied. Tony Bradford was a part of the problem.
Well, tremendous stop there for Texas Tech. And the thing that I liked about that drive is they didn't bring any pressure. They brought 3-man, 4-man defensive fronts. They may not be getting it right to Brewer when they want to, but having 7 to 8 guys in coverage, that's important. If the ball gets caught, there's always a red jersey there to tackle them right when they catch it.
So the first possession of the game goes over on downs. Texas Tech comes out on offense. Texas Tech losing a week ago against TCU. They are just 1-5 in Big 12 play. Their quarterback making his 4th start of the year, Henry Colombi. And Colombi's first pass is complete. Keyshawn Carter, gain of 5. Let's take a look at the offensive starters for Texas Tech.
Yeah, this front 5 had a hard time with a lot of twists and movement, so it's going to be important that Dawson Deaton gets the communication up there. And TJ Vasher, they need to get this big, tall receiver going.
On the run, Colombi's pass is caught. Once again, it is Carter. 2 straight catches for him. That one a gain of 10, and the chains will move.
And you see the tempo now for Texas Tech as well. We saw it from Baylor. Now you're seeing this tempo game from Texas Tech.
First down and 10. Trying to shoot it over to the back out of the backfield, and it's way too high for Thompson. Well, you talked about Dylan Doyle. Let's get to the rest of the defense for Baylor.
I'm so excited to watch William Bradley King. He's the transfer from Arkansas State, and he is fantastic with his upper body violence. Then you get Dylan Doyle, and then you get Jalen Petrie in the back end. Watch out for that guy. He's kind of a do-everything secondary player.
Surprise quarterback keeper, and Colombi pays the price. Absolutely crunched. That was Bradley King in on the stop. The guy you were talking about. Looks the part. 6'4", 250 pounds is William Bradley King, and he can really run.
Well, he's played some multiple positions already on this Baylor defense, kind of a hybrid outside linebacker. They moved him now to a true defensive end with his hand on the line. But he really pops on tape because, again, his upper body violence, his long arms, the way he can use his hands to get these offensive linemen on him, it's very impressive, very instinctful player.
Third down and 9. Quick hitter. This is Keyshawn Carter, who's got 3 catches on this first drive. He's quickly stoned at about the 25-yard line.
And that did not fool Dylan Doyle at all. That linebacker position, right there's the Mike linebacker. He recognized the little slip screen on the inside, and he just went right downhill. You saw William Bradley King try to retrace. By the time he even got to the ball carrier, Doyle was already there wrapping him up.
I gave him the 25. I was wrong. He got to the 30-yard line. So it's 4th down and 6 in a punting situation. The wind is at the back of the kicker. Jonathan Garibay comes on to kick straight on, and it is good. Tons of leg. That's from 48 yards out. Tip of the cap, Jonathan Garibay, the junior, doing work with that right leg. We've got a score in Lubbock. It's 3-0. Red Raiders. Texas Tech an early 3-0 lead over Baylor. 9 plays, 29 yards, a 48-yard field goal by Jonathan Garibay. That's his first field goal as a college player. Kicking game has been a source of consternation for everyone involved at Texas Tech. Just one made field goal through the first 7 games of the season. Garibay taking over, and this is just a capper to what has already been a sensational last couple of days for both he and his family. Jonathan Garibay is from Southern California, hadn't seen his family in a long time. They surprised him at yesterday's walkthrough. Just a great moment.
I love this. You know, the fact that he hasn't seen his family in a long time, and you know, what a job by Texas Tech to get his family here to see his first ever Division I kicking experience. 2 years, Riverside Community College, comes here to Texas Tech, has to wait for an opportunity, and that opportunity came today. They got the family in. How outstanding. And then he kicks the field goal to put their team up on top early in this game.
Brewer, play action, and he finds Sneed. R.J. Sneed with a crossing route. Pick up a 14 on first down. Quaylen Jones in the backfield. They fake it to him. This is Fleeks trying the left side. And the left side is not nearly as profitable as the right side had been. Good open field tackle made by DeMarcus Fields. A gain of just 1. Fields has had a good year, the senior cornerback from Taylor, Texas.
Yeah, and you're going to see him predominantly cover R.J. Sneed throughout this whole game. They don't normally match up guys like that, but Fields is the best cover guy, and Sneed is the best receiver. So in this particular game, you're going to see that matchup a lot.
Brewer. Short gain. That was Sneed. Second grab for Sneed.
And there's just what I'm talking about. You're going to see Fields he's going to float back, and he's in a zone coverage. He's got to be deeper than the deepest on that portion of the field, and that's why he's given so much cushion. He has to respect the speed of Sneed as well. So there's that element. So that's the battle. Even though you're in zone, sometimes you got to give cushion. Sometimes you have to compress that cushion. These guys are going to be battling all game long.
3rd down and 1. Baylor's just crossed midfield. Power football, and Jones has the first down. Baylor playing their first full game without Craig Squirrel Williams, torn ACL and MCL. New coaching staff really high on Squirrel Williams, and obviously concerned about him, looking forward to getting him back for years to come. But trying to find out some situations that they can be productive in with their running game.
Yeah, and it's so unfortunate because they just kind of felt like he was starting to find his groove, too, in the offense, and he was starting to pick up some more yards, and he was playing with that sense of urgency, and then, boom, got hit with a knee injury.
Jonah White has checked into the game. He's number 33, redshirt freshman running back. This is his first playing time of the season. Fleeks and Jones in the backfield, and this is Fleeks right side. His 3rd carry of this drive, and he has stood up after a short gain on first down. So it appears as if Josh Fleeks is going to be one of the options to replace Squirrel Williams.
Well, that's the guy I'm always looking at, is Rico Jeffers. He's one of the best players on this defense, and he knows how to read. He knows how to react. He can get sideline to sideline. He's a big, tough middle linebacker. It's good to see him making plays out there.
4 receivers now with 1 back. Play action, Brewer, and it is almost intercepted. Try to sneak it into R.J. Sneed, and it was almost picked off and headed the other way.
Boy, Eric Monroe read this perfectly. He saw the in-cutting route and just got lateral. That's what you got to do. You don't go downhill when you feel those slants. You have to get lateral and even sometimes gain a little bit of depth when you're going to attack those slants. Almost pick that ball off.
3rd down and long. Quaylen Jones in the backfield with Brewer.
You see the body language again. All those guys mugging up front.
Windy day. Brewer throwing into the wind. And going down. Rico Jeffers got him. Loss of 7.
Well, see, that's the confusion that a four-man front can give you. You don't know which guy is going to be blitzing or pressuring. They give a little bit of a stunt on the outside as well, and it just confuses those guys just enough. All you have to do a lot of those times is just find the edge of the offensive lineman. If you can get to that shoulder pad and you can get those guys turned a little bit, you can do some damage. I like the defensive approach right now for Texas Tech. Confuse this offensive line as much as possible.
This kick will be into the wind again. Isaac Power, end over end. No fair catch. Dangerous play. Out to the 15-yard line goes Chooks Wabuka. 36-yard punt, 2-yard return. And look at this. We've got a change at quarterback for Texas Tech. First couple of drives went to Columbia, and now Alan Bowman, who started a bunch in years past as a freshman a year ago, and 4 games to begin this season, he's on the field to begin the series.
Well, and his biggest thing is just availability. He's been banged up, he's been hurt a little bit, but when he's in these games, boy, he is a gamer. I tell you what, I love his intensity. He can get the ball down the field in a hurry. Big arm on this guy.
They start with a run. It's Xavier White. And White out to the 20-yard line. Gain of 4. Alan Bowman from Grapevine, Texas. 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Back-to-back carries for White.
Well, this is the part that I don't love with the new quarterback. Now you put him in a third and obvious pass situation. I would have liked more of a play-action pass on second down.
Oh, that'll be a pick 6. Heading the other way. Baylor's in the end zone. Touchdown. Second consecutive week for a pick 6 by Jalen Petrie.
Well, and that's the thing I was worried about. You get a guy coming off the bench, and you run the ball 2 times on first and second down. You don't get the yardage that you're looking for. You did a decent job on first down. That's the play with the new quarterback that's coming in to find his rhythm. Play action pass, something easy on the outside to hopefully pick up that first down. You get into third and obvious. Everybody knows you're going to be throwing the football. They rely on the quick game because they're just going after the sticks. And Petrie, because he's a smart football player and one of the most instinctful football players on Baylor's defense, reads it perfectly and picks it off.
Extra point is good, and Baylor is on the scoreboard for the first time, and they do it with defense. Ben Lieber, you talked about it before the game even began. Dave Aranda believes in an opportunistic defense, and Jalen Petrie is the apple of his eye with what he has been able to do with those instincts playing defensively 2 consecutive weeks with interceptions for touchdowns.
And I talked to Aranda about him specifically. I said, hey, tell me about this Jalen Petrie guy, because he's another one of these guys that just really shows out on tape. I mean, he has this presence about him, this swagger, this look. He looks like an NFL player to me. And he said, listen, he may not test very well when it comes to speed, agility, all those measurables, but you get him in a classroom, he knows everything. He knows exactly where every guy's going to go in every defense against every formation. He's barking out calls, he's telling guys where to go, and he always gets to where he's supposed to go. So maybe he's not going to test very fast, but he knows instinctively where to go, and that's what it takes.
Low kick. Oh, Keyshawn Carter was between and betwixt. Didn't know what to do. He's upset with himself. Was hoping that maybe it would go out of bounds for the penalty. Didn't want to pick it up. It was spitting and goofy. And it's going to be poor starting field position for Texas Tech.
I know that he is way better at doing that than I am, but when I was on kickoff return, I hated that ball bouncing around. You just never know where it's going to go. You always get a little anxious, a little nervous, and he read that wrong just a little bit as we see Henry Columbia come back into this football game to get the pick 6 by Bowman. That's all they wanted to see. They get Columbia back in there for this next series.
So Bowman had 3 plays, 2 handoffs, and the interception. Xavier White. This will be the final play of our first quarter, and it is an off-tackle run. So Roderick Thompson, a gain of 1. And we will switch ends. Could make a difference because it's a windy day in Lubbock. Red Raiders have the football, but they trail 7-3. Baylor on top. Second quarter's next. Getting ready to start our second quarter. Let's take a look at our team comparison sponsored by Credible.com.
Well, I think you can look at all these stats you want, but I think everybody knows if you're watching this game, it's all about turnovers right now. It's the pick six from Jalen Petrie to get Baylor on the board. And that's really been the difference in this game. Both offenses really can't find a rhythm yet, running the football or passing the football.
Setting up the screen, it's White. And he is crushed. Big hit. Dylan Doyle brings him down after a gain of 8.
Well, that's the obvious offensive play. When you get those third and long situations as defense, you're always talking screens and draws. Everybody watch out for screens and draws. Here comes the screen pass. It's slightly effective, but then watch the white jersey. See Dylan Doyle just kind of sneak past that block, slither through there, and get to the tackle. I'd like to see more of those screen passes in the early downs as opposed to the obvious downs.
Garabay's punt into the wind this time. And it will roll out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Still haven't made it to midfield. This drive has been an adventure for Baylor. 11.5 minutes remaining second quarter. Game's only touchdown coming on a pick 6. Interception for a touchdown by Jalen Petrie. Clothesline. And a flag comes in. That was a high tackle right around the neck. Jonah White was the ball carrier.
It looked like he got his face twisted around. Check out this replay. You're going to see the big paw come up there. One of those inadvertent things, but that is a full hand on the face mask. And oh, that doesn't feel good.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, and an automatic. First down.
So that is the first collegiate carry for Jonah White.
The face mask was on number 0.
And he's going to have a headache to remember it by.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness.
That was Tyree Wilson. I'm going to guess who's the first person staying in line for the chiropractor tomorrow.
So a big play because it's a 15-yard gain on the penalty. Ball's at the 35-yard line. Play action. Brewer looking for his tight end, and the pass was too high. Actually had his tight end and back in the same area. Dabney and Jones were equally close to that football.
Yeah, that is not how it's supposed to look. You know, they're trying to get a wheel route with Jones on the outside, and then Dabney, he runs out there as well. You're going to see the wheel route here, and you're going to see also a wheel route here. That's not the way it's supposed to be drawn up. You don't want to have two guys in the same situation, the same vicinity as that football.
Second down and 10. Jones. Nice Zuzu inside the 25 to the 21. 14-yard gain for the redshirt freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas.
Well, I like the way he runs. I mean, he doesn't run like a big back. You know, he gets downhill. You see that little stutter, the quick little footwork. You know, he's got the foot quickness to make those hard cuts. He does a nice job of attacking the blockers as well. Goes right up to the hip, then cuts it vertically. Young little back is going to be good.
High snap, almost hit the flanker coming by. It's Tay McWilliams on his first carry of the day, and he gets it inside the 20. Now remember, with the wind at the back of Baylor, they're clearly already in field goal range.
Well, and now if you're the offensive coordinator, Larry Fedora, you're watching how these safeties are acting in this run game. You know, if you start seeing these guys starting to creep down, there's a safety here, safety there. If they start to creep down in early downs, opportunity to get the ball deep in the middle of the field.
Brewer wants a bunch. And contact in the secondary that threw Gavin Holmes off his route. So it's third down and 7.
You're going to see the matchup up top again that we talked about. Completely blocked up. That's the X receiver. We talk about receivers left to right, X, Y, and Z. So he is the X receiver over there, singled up, and just nothing going on the left side.
Need was locked up with Zach McPherson, who has been sensational this year as a senior quarterback for Texas Tech. 3rd down and 7. Baylor doesn't want to settle for 3. 4-man rush. Nobody open. Brewer down to the 11-yard line. And they're going to give him the line to gain. It's a gain of 8 and a 1st down for Baylor.
Well, and this is where Brewer is so deadly. It's these extended plays. You see, he's looking down the field and nothing. And he trusts his athleticism and his speed to get down the field and pick up 1st downs.
1st down and goal. Ball's right on the 10-yard line. Fleeks goes in motion. And the first man through, this is Jones, the power back. Barrels forward for a couple. Jalen Hutchings, among others, on the stop. 2nd down.
Yeah, this is an area of the field where they haven't used the tight ends much throughout the season, except these last 4 games, these tight ends have 4 touchdowns. So this is obviously the area where you get in the red zone, look for your big tight ends. There's one of them right there. That's Christoph Henley.
12th play of the drive. Jones inside the 5. Again, Hutchings on the tackle, but a decent gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and possible 3rd down and inside the 5-yard line for Charlie Brewer and Baylor. Yardage coming in short chunks for Dave Aranda's bunch.
Yeah, it's been a grinded out sort of drive, hasn't it? We had that 15-yard penalty. That's a big chunk of offense for Baylor. But outside of that, it's been a lot of Jones just kind of grinding out these run plays.
Baylor's already up 7-3. Freshman tight end Drake Dabney just checked into the game. Brewer, tons of time. And Brewer down at the 5. Jeffers tackles him, and that'll bring up 4th down. Hard to believe that no one could break free with all that time.
Well, again, a great job of coverage underneath. They're playing a zone coverage where all eyes are on Charlie Brewer. So if the first read is not there, they're not great with their progressions going from 1, 2, and 3. And you get down the red zone, things have to happen fast. So credit to the Texas Tech defense.
John Mayers comes on. Baylor will have to settle for a 22-yard field goal. Tough angle. And he slices it through. So the Bears, with dreams of a bigger number, and have to settle for 3. Their lead is now 7. 10-3 ball game in Lubbock. In case you missed it, folks, we're talking about UCLA and Cal. Are playing tomorrow afternoon. It was originally supposed to be Cal and Arizona State, but issues at Arizona State. It was going to be Utah and UCLA, but Utah had issues. And so at the last minute, the Pac-12 saying, you know what, let's just have UCLA and Cal play on a Sunday. So without game planning for each other, without, thinking 7 consecutive days, this is how we're going to beat each other. They just said, let's just play. I think it's great.
And I got to imagine that Alan Bowman is going to get some more snaps in this game.
Petrie with the blitz came on the wrong side, and it's a positive gain by Taj Brooks, who goes over right tackle for 7.
I mean, can you imagine if you come into the game and they run the ball twice, you get one opportunity to throw the football? Yes, it's a bad play, it's a pick 6, but that can't be that can't be the only action he gets this game.
Second down and 3. Setting up the screen to the tight end. This is Kuntz, the big fella from Youngstown, Ohio. Crosses midfield. He can really scoot. We saw him with that long touchdown reception a couple of weeks ago. He runs well for a guy who's listed at 260.
Yeah, he really does, and you're going to see him right there on the right-hand side of your screen. This is the screen game I was talking about. Whether it's running backs or tight ends, get involved early in the downs to get you thinking you're going to go one way and screen pass the other way. You saw the effectiveness of what happens on doing on 2nd down versus 3rd and long.
Abram Smith getting his first collegiate start at linebacker, replacing Terrell Bernard, who's out for the rest of the year. Polk with the catch. Tackled inbounds by Morgan.
And Abram Smith, like you said, he's going to be on a little bit of a pitch count. You know, he's a converted running back. He plays really well in space as a linebacker, but you can't ask him to play 60 straight snaps or 70 straight snaps in this game.
Colombi keeps it, and the ball comes out late. And
was that Petrie again?
The runner is down with his left knee within his possession for a first down. It will be 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Please set the game clock to 4:02. 4:02, please.
So Matt Wells and his Texas Tech Red Raiders get a nice break. They keep the football. We did just see Miles Price leave the field on the cart. We'll try and get more information about the status of Miles Price. So it's still Texas Tech football. Brooks inside the 20 to the 18. 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6. Man, a lot of hitting going on. First man in, Abram Smith, the junior linebacker we were telling you about. You mentioned the pitch count. Clearly, he is still in the game and not giving way to the reliever yet.
Yeah, and he's been on the field this whole time. You'll see him just kind of creep in right there. He's going to shoot right through that gap. That's nice to see that he understands instincts, his gap responsibility. He shoots the gap with no hesitation and makes the play in the backfield.
It's actually a loss of a yard, so 2nd and 6 turns into 3rd down and 7. They move the tight end Kuntz.
There's Ezukama at the top of the screen. Talked about his stats. Not a lot of production today.
They hand the ball off on 3rd down and 7. Looking for a running room is Thompson. Got a couple, but not nearly enough. And it's going to be 4th down and about 3. Surprising play call.
Really interesting play call. I mean, Texas Tech right now is only averaging about 3.8 yards on the ground. So it was 3rd and 7, and they opted for a run.
And now they're going to go for it. They're kicking into the wind if they wanted to, but you can't imagine this would be a 25-yard field goal. A little bit more than that, be 32 or so. But still, that wouldn't be undoable. Thompson runs it, gets the first down, and gets inside the 10. So the decision pays off for Matt Wells and Texas Tech. They gain 7, and the chains move.
Well, they saw man-to-man coverage, so they shifted everybody off to the left side and had this nub side on the right and found a little crease.
Thompson able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Both teams methodical drives without explosive plays.
Yeah, it was the screen pass early in this drive for Texas Tech, and conversely it was a 15-yard face mask penalty that Baylor got that really advanced the football for them. So a lot of just grinded out on the ground with their running backs.
Final 2 minutes of our 2nd quarter. This has been a time-consuming drive for Texas Tech. Clock's in motion. Quarterback keeper, Colombi looking for the edge, not going to get there. Fantastic play. Ashton Logan had him around the waist and wouldn't let go.
Well, Travis Kuntz, the tight end, has to make a decision. He's got to be way more definitive as the lead blocker. Which guy are you going to block?
3rd and goal for Texas Tech. High lob into that wind, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Ezukama, a rare target for Ezukama, and it's 4th down. Clock stops with the incompletion, and the field goal unit will have to come on.
Well, that's exactly why Coach Aranda would call that timeout. 3rd down, you know, even if they score a touchdown, let's preserve as much time as possible so that you play the game theory clock management game, and looks like it's going to work out in his favor. His offense is going to have some time to get down the field as well.
Jonathan Garibay made one from 48 yards with the wind at his back, this time into the wind, and he smokes it through like a gentleman. Jonathan Garibay, real solid afternoon for him. It's a 10-6 ball game in Lubbock. Well, Well, who knew? Back in 2012, Utah State, they did work. They're the WAC champs, won a bowl game. Their coordinators under Gary Anderson on the offensive side, Matt Wells. Defensive coordinator, Dave Aranda.
I tell you what, man, every time we do a game, it's amazing how small just the football world is. Not even college football, even in the NFL. These guys, they bounce around so much that these connections that they build, the spider web of connections they build are amazing. I mean, just the fact that they were there at the same time, they got to know each other so well, and it's one of those intense moments. Even in a year of football, you really get to know all the players and coaches because you're around them all the time, and they've been friends ever since, and really close friends ever since.
And they both had a stud on both sides of the ball. Defensively, Bobby Wagner was a linebacker for Aranda, and on the offensive side, running back Robert Turpin. Fleeks on his feet for a while, finally goes down across the 35. 3rd down and 7. What a bunch. Pass is caught and out of bounds. Big gainer to Snead. That's what they needed, a chunk play. And now maybe you can start thinking about a field goal.
Well, that's why I was proven wrong. They get Snead out there. He's just going to come in and back out right there. He kind of presses the corner to that side to show him some speed going to the middle of the field and bust it out to the outside. A nicely delivered ball to Snead. And now they're in business. But again, a lot of time got chewed up there. Only 11 seconds left.
Gain of 24. So Baylor hoarding that final timeout. They still have it. They can use the entire middle part of the field. And they still can with 7 seconds remaining. It's a short gain. You could theoretically try and get a couple more yards and then call a timeout. Or if you don't want to risk it, you bring in the leg right now.
Yeah, I think you have enough time to run something very similar to that type of play.
Senior quarterback Brewer. Got to be careful. 7 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Live to fight another day. Nothing doing. So now the field goal unit will come on.
Well, and smartly, Texas Tech, they know what the game situation is. They stacked 3 guys up on the line, on the sideline there to prevent any sort of quick catch. Nicely executed by them, and now you put Baylor in a situation on a 48-yard attempt, and you got to play the wind just right.
Career longest field goal, 51 yards for John Mayers. Sophomore from Flower Mound, Texas. 48-yard field goal with the wind at the back. You betcha. John Mayers doing work. Longest field goal of his season, and the lead is back up to 7 as we have reached halftime in Lubbock. 13-6 is your score. I'd have to say that Dave Aranda, he managed that last minute and a half beautifully. Stay tuned for the State Farm halftime show after the break. That's how our second quarter ended. John Mayers, just barely over from 48 yards, had the wind at his back, but as long as you get it through, that's what they're going to talk about, and that's what counts. So 13-6 is our score. 30 minutes remaining. With my partner, Ben Lieber, I am Eric Collins. You think of Baylor, you think of Texas Tech 10 years ago. This would have been a shootout. This afternoon, not so much.
No, not so much. I mean, even going back to last year, they started making more plays in the second half, and hopefully that happens. But as we take a look at the first half stats, and as you can see, 2 for 2 on field goals for both teams, that's been the scoring opportunities for them. And really, this has been a grinded out fashion of trying to run the football, short, quick passes on the outside to try to get something to break.
Those first half stats sponsored by Zaxby's. Hand-breaded chicken and fresh ingredients made to order only at Zaxby's. Well, if you're a Texas Tech fan, I've got some good news for you. Your quarterback, Henry Colombi, has been notoriously better in the second half than he has been in the first half. Those are his first half numbers, 8 for 13. Okay, but not a lot of passing yards. But this is what he has done through the first 3 starts as a Texas Tech Red Raider, first half to second half.
You know, I think a lot of it comes down to coaching as well. You know, even go back to last week, we asked, hey, why was there so much better production in the second half versus the first half? It's like, well, we changed our protections a little bit. We brought in our tight ends. We were able to protect him and give him more time to get the ball down the field. So I imagine it's the coaching at halftime has been the difference. Plus, I'm sure he feels like he's in more of a game rhythm after a first half or one half of football.
We have only 1 touchdown in the game, and that was a defensive touchdown. So Roderick Thompson in the backfield. They give it to Thompson. And to the 30-yard line he goes. Gain of 5 on first down.
You know, it doesn't look like much, but those 5-yard chunks do tend to add up. And again, Sir Roderick Thompson, been a big part of their offense in the first half with runs just like that.
Columbia, his pass is high but caught. That's Ezukama. Where you been, my friend? First catch of the day for one of the best receivers in the Big 12. Gain of 9. Came into this game 35 catches in 7 games.
Yeah, really quiet in the first half. Really, not only just for him, but for all the receivers. You know, they get the tight end involved in the game, but not so much the receivers. They're changing that game plan here in the second half.
Trying to sneak one quickly with Thompson. Not much there. Just a gain of a pair.
But there's some depth issues now for Baylor's secondary.
For those of you wondering, you just heard him mention B.J. Hansbard. That is indeed Byron Hansbard Jr. Ball's loose, picked up. Baylor has it. Baylor's got the football. Dylan Doyle, Johnny on the spot, and a turnover gives it to the Bears in point-blank range.
Well, looks like it's going to be Miles Price. They're going to try a little trickeration, and it's the exchange. Oftentimes, listen, when there are things, when there's multiple exchanges on any play, it opens yourself up for a vulnerability. And this was a guy in Miles Price that we saw get carted off in the first half. So obviously he's back in this game, gets an opportunity here early in the second half, and puts the ball on the ground. And then all you have to do is just get yourself around the football. And that's what Dylan Doyle did. Comes up with a huge takeaway here early in the second half.
So much of what Dave Aranda and his staff want to do defensively is create turnovers, force the issue when there's an opportunity to be had, capitalize on it. Well, another turnover, and they've got the football at the 34-yard line.
And now as a defense, you always have to worry about the big play and the big shots after takeaways. Sudden change, watch for that.
Quaylen Jones makes the first man miss, lowers the head, and gets down to the 26-yard line. Gain of 7 on first down. He's been the truth. Jones with 56 yards in the first half on 12 carries. Long of 14. He's been steady.
And with John Lovett out of the game, we knew he was going to get some carries, but boy, he's been the workhorse today.
Another one, back-to-back carries, and it should be enough for the first down. If not, it's awfully close.
You know, Quaylen's made an appearance in every game this season, but he has been banged up a little bit here and there. He is fully healthy, and they're taking advantage of his health right now.
3rd down and 6.
Here's the pressure look for Texas Tech.
4-man rush. Nice play, trumped him. Gavin Holmes has the first down and then some. With all the pressure coming forward, Holmes just snuck out, picks up 15.
Well, it's Colin Schooler that's going to get the blitz right there. And when the middle linebacker voids that area, then you bring somebody across the field just like that. See all that trash and all those uniforms that you have to get through in that situation? So nice call against that 4-man pressure.
Chance for a first down inside the 5-yard line. 1st down and 10. Delayed handoff to Jones. To the 10 and the 9. Baylor, they've lost 4 consecutive. Began their season by beating Kansas. But they're in a rut. Trying to get out of it on the road here in Lubbock.
We get some big offensive linemen pulling around. They thought they had something, but these safeties for Texas Tech, they're seeing the run game clearly and getting downhill.
Jones again, this time stoned. Wow. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. Coming up and making the play, Tony Bradford.
Well, Bradford, he was out last game. He's back in this game, and you can see the difference that he makes. Holy cow, did he just bench press the offensive lineman. Get off me, son. I'm here to make plays.
3rd down and 6. Big play. Baylor doesn't want to have to settle for another field goal. Their only touchdown was a defensive touchdown. 3rd down and 5. Ball's on the 8-yard line. Line to gain is the 3. Brewer. Nobody home. Calls his own number. Brewer! Touchdown! Baylor Bears break the ice. Give him 6. Heck heck of a play by the senior quarterback.
Well, and this was all on Brewer. So once again, they flash like they're gonna bring a fourth or fifth guy. They drop out and have 8 guys in coverage, and there's just no place to throw the football, so he has to run. And Krishawn Merriweather, you don't see him miss open field tackles like that very often. He makes the stud middle linebacker miss and takes it in for a Baylor score.
Extra point up and through. The largest lead of the game. It is a 14-point stiff arm for Dave Aranda's Baylor Bears.
Turnovers lead to points. You see the scoring drive there after that fumble recovery. That's the start you're looking for if you're the Baylor Bears.
Kickoff with the wind at the back. Again, the ball goes through the back of the end zone. So you wonder, quarterback situation for Texas Tech. In the first half, we saw just one series with Alan Bowman. Bowman had been the starter a year ago, started the first 4 games. He played 1 series, 2 handoffs, and then an interception that was turned for a touchdown. Is that possibly the end of the day for Bowman?
I mean, if I was him, I'd hope not. I mean, that's not the taste in your mouth that you'd want to walk away from this game with, of like, hey, I get one opportunity to throw the football, and yes, I made a mistake, but I don't get any other opportunities. I'm sure that he wants it. I just don't know right now if it's going to be in the game plan. But we did talk to the coach just about the difference between the two, and they said, well, we think that Allen has the stronger arm. So I would like to think that the stronger armed quarterback in the game where wind is a factor would be a better situation.
Columbi, pass is bobbled and incomplete. Laying the wood was Christian Morgan. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Well, that's the safety we've been talking about as far as laying the wood. He is the guy that's going to come downhill, and he is not afraid to hit you. And the thing I like about that, too, and no chance that was a targeting, something to the head and neck area. You don't want to see your #1 receiver now 2 weeks in a row having balls drop in his chest, or hit him in the chest and drop on the ground, or hit him in the hands and drop on the ground. So you got to get him back involved in this game and get some confidence with those hands.
So just an incompletion, 3rd down and 8. Texas Tech just 3 for 9 converting 3rd downs. Taj Brooks in the backfield. Columbi to throw. 4-man rush. And down goes Columbi. Garmin Randolph was the first man on his back, and it'll bring up 4th down and a 3-and-out for Texas Tech.
Well, I think they really confused him with the coverage. They played a man situation, and once you see Dylan Doyle cover the running back out of the backfield, you see his eyes sort of look to that check down. The check down is not there. He has no choice but to climb up into the pocket, and that's when he gets sacked.
When you're trying to find the quarterback, bring in your Garmin. Garmin Randolph with the sack. And the punt gives it back over to Baylor. They will start at the 27-yard line. Second possession of the second half for Baylor. Scored a touchdown a moment ago. Quaylen Jones next to Brewer. He is working on a 70-yard rushing day. Again, just a 3-man rush. Tons of time. Brewer picked off. Zach McPherson has the football for the Red Raiders. And McPherson spun down, but an interception for the big playmaker in the secondary for Texas Tech.
And that's all, again, because of the underneath zone coverage for Texas Tech. They're doing a phenomenal job of getting some depth. So Charlie Brewer has to put some air on this ball, because you see all those red jerseys right there? That's the reason why he's threatened by those red jerseys. He can't throw it low. He's got to put some air on it. They're going with the wind, so that ball is going to travel a little bit further and float in the air. Tips and overthrows we always look for on defense. And right there with the big interception is Zach McPherson.
McPherson's 3rd interception on the season. 2nd in consecutive weeks. Keyshawn Carter, catch and a 6-yard gain. Maybe finally something to build on for Texas Tech. New quarterback, Alan Bowman, getting an opportunity. So Bowman's 2nd series. Sophomore from Grapevine. Handoff, ball almost came out. And down to the 21-yard line goes Taj Brooks.
Well, you can feel that momentum, right? That's what turnovers do. You feel this momentum, this energy now that Texas Tech has, and they're operating so much more quickly and efficiently.
Brooks, short gain. Ashton Logan the tackle. 2nd down and long. kind of almost have to root for Alan Bowman, guy who had his starting job taken away after 4 games and then had an opportunity to come back in and show what he's all about and threw a pick 6 in the first half. Let's see if he can grow from it. Deep shot. Caught! Is he in? No ruling yet. I think he's short, but down to the 1-yard line goes Carter.
Phil's completed pass short of the goal line. First down.
Yeah, it looked like his hip hit the ground right just short of the goal line, but here they go.
Quick handoff. And in goes Brooks. Touchdown, Texas Tech. We got a ball game again.
And it's all based on takeaways. You get the takeaway, you get that momentum. Baylor did it a few drives before. Then you get Texas Tech's defense stepping up and making a play. And then you get Keyshawn Carter getting down near the goal line. And you hurry this offense up. And they've been doing a nice job of running the football all day long. So you plunge ahead for that 1 yard. So here we go. Trading turnovers and trading touchdowns.
5 plays, 36 yards, 67 seconds. Brooks, his 3rd touchdown of his true freshman season. And the extra point is blocked. Jonathan Garibay, who had a fantastic day punting and place kicking, has the extra point blocked. Uh-oh, that could be an issue. So the lead is 8 for Baylor, but Texas Tech is alive and kicking. Texas Tech has drawn within 8 of Baylor, but concern on the Texas Tech sideline as Henry Colombi is being looked at. His left elbow. This is when he was sacked earlier in this 3rd quarter, and you could see the obvious pain on his face. Ben, we've seen him favoring that left arm actually throughout the course of this game.
Yeah, we saw him take that hit in the 2nd quarter, and it sort of looked like when he fumbled that football and they challenged it or looked at it, and it was ruled that he was down. On that particular play, he sort of stayed down and kind of favored that arm when he got up, and then takes this shot on this sack. And then, you know, you can tell that there obviously there's the arm sleeve there, and something doesn't feel right within that elbow shoulder joint for that left arm. And not sure if that's exactly why Alan Bowman was in, but probably a pretty good indicator why he was in the game on that last series.
Josh Fleeks returning the kickoff out across the 30. Baylor the lead in the ball. Brewer. Tough to bring down. Senior, 6'1", 210 pounds, but playing with some resolve.
Yeah, he really is. He's a tough guy to bring down. He really becomes just an extra running back when he tucks the ball down. But again, the reason that he has to tuck the ball down outside of an earlier designed quarterback draw, it's just been this Texas Tech defense that's given him no windows to throw into.
Gavin Holmes, quick hitter. Holmes goes out of bounds. Gain of 4. So using the passing game as a de facto running game. It's now 2nd down.
It's not for lack of trying here in the 2nd half. Baylor is trying to get some passing plays actually down the field and stop with the horizontal game that they did in the 1st half, but nothing's going, so it looks like they're going back to the horizontal game.
Tight end Dabney. Freshman tight end has the football, and he is spun down at the 40-yard line. They really like Drake Dabney. I think he's got a chance to be special with his athletic ability.
Yeah, they really do. You're going to see him come across the formation, and he's wide open. Just throw that ball a little bit sooner. Don't look for anything deep, but he's an athletic guy that they like getting the ball into.
Another design quarterback run. Brewer thought about sliding and said, why? I can get 5 more. He's got another 1st down.
You kind of felt that too, right? You thought he was just going to lay it down, and he thought, no, I see a crease there. I can stick my left foot in the ground and get vertical for a few more plays and pick up this 1st down.
Technically a 9-yard gain, so the world's the oyster here for Baylor. They can take a chance, but instead, quarterback run. And Brewer, again, looking like Frank Pollard or Walter Abercrombie. Tough running for the fella.
Well, a little bit of the same formula from last year when they played the double overtime game. They didn't have much success throwing the football. He ends up having 3 rushing touchdowns himself because that's the only production they could get.
1st down run. Not much there. Jones tackled. Rashawn Merriweather. That was the 9th play of the drive. So slow and steady for the Bears.
And Now the quarterback run game becomes a little bit tougher now because his linebackers and second-level defenders don't have to drop as much in the zone coverage. So now they can play a little bit tighter the line of scrimmage and get some faster reads on some of these release and offensive linemen.
Dabney, the tight end. Oh, Brewer wasn't waiting for it. Somehow the ball fights right to the breastbasket of Quaylen Jones. Could have been disastrous.
That could have been real bad. He obviously wasn't ready for this. He's looking around. Here comes the ball snap right in the face mask, and they got lucky. It falls right into Quaylen's hands, and they pick up a little something on a broken play.
Center Jason Moore had been flawless before that snap. Third down and goal.
Schooler's the one that made this play because he hits the tight end and takes away his option right there. That's the reason, and he had no idea. Charlie Brewer had no idea he was right there and just got hammered.
4th and goal, and it looks like it's the offense that moved.
False start. Offense,
look at this hit.
Multiple players. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Looked like he was shot with an elephant gun.
That is a Red Raider slug right to his chest. And again, it's really not his fault because he was shielded by his own player, and Schooler hits him, knocks him off the coverage, and then goes and makes a hard play on Charlie Brewer.
So after the penalty marches them back 5 yards, you can no longer go for it. Baylor has to settle for a field goal. 23-yard attempt, John Mayers. And Mayers stripes it. Dave Aranda would have preferred the 6 and then 7, but this hit by Colin Schooler saved the day. Almost think that Brewer slowed down, didn't see it coming.
Well, he had no idea. He didn't see it coming. He said Drake Dabney there was in a pass route and then just gets chucked and blasted by Schooler. And because of the body presence, he had no idea that Schooler was there. He thought he was just going to like tiptoe into the end zone. And you're right, he got hammered.
Kickoff with the wind at the back. And all day long heading this direction with kickoffs, we have had touchbacks. There is Terrell Bernard. Terrell Bernard is a huge deal, leading the Big 12 in tackles, but he's out for the season. He's dealing with a shoulder situation. But how tough is this guy? He hurt himself in the 3rd quarter last week, was clearly in pain, all kinds of structural damage, but he came out and played the 4th quarter somehow with one arm.
It's unbelievable, man. I mean, obviously tough. I mean, you got to be really tough to do that. And I've had shoulder injuries too, and they do not feel good, especially for a linebacker that's going to be using his shoulders to tackle people. So talk about credit to Charlie Brewer for holding on the football. Credit to him for being a tough guy and finishing the game. But ultimately, you cannot play the rest of the season like that. You have to get something like that repaired.
But he earned his toughness card. And it looks as if Texas Tech doesn't want to run any more plays into the wind. They want the wind at their back as they play this very important 3rd down. So far, so good for Baylor on the road. 4 fingers in the air. The 4th quarter when we return to Lubbock. Two old Southwest Conference rivals doing work now in the Big 12. Baylor, Texas Tech. Baylor leads as we begin our 4th quarter, 23-12. Alan Bowman still in at quarterback, finds T.J. Vassar. And Vassar inside the 15. Long, tall drink of water. Big gainer, 29 yards.
Yeah, he's a good-looking receiver. If he could just add just a little bit more weight to be a little bit more sturdy, I tell you what, man, he is a specimen.
This was timeout for an injury to a defensive player.
6'6", 215 pounds. You can see how lean he is and just how much ground he can cover. You know, the only problem is with a lot of these receivers on the outside for Texas Tech, because they are tall and long-legged. If you can jam them.
Ball at the 13. Sir Roderick Thompson. Spun off the first tackle attempt by Dylan Doyle and picks up 3 yards. Doyle's been in the middle of a lot of action this afternoon. Transfer from Iowa, has started every game in a Baylor uniform this year. Bowman to the end zone. Incomplete. And a penalty flag is down. Jalen Petrie got tangled up with T.J. Vasher.
Well, and that's where you put that football. When you talk about, again, 6'6", you get those arms extended.
Pass interference, defense, number 8. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball we placed at the 2-yard line, automatic. First down.
Yeah, you get that big, tall body with those long arms, and you just throw that ball up there on a 50-50. Just high point the ball as much as you can. You'll see the contact there. The ball is in the air. He clearly impedes his ability to get up and grab that football.
Thompson. Doyle with the tackle. Apologize, that was Xavier White with the run.
Well, it's good to see him get his feet out from underneath of him. You always hate to see those tackles where you get knocked back like that. Knee injuries occur when you get that foot stuck in the ground. Doyle showing some pressure here in the middle. Is that just a decoy?
Bowman to throw, the fade. Again, looking for Vasher. I guess that's always got to be an option when you have someone 6'6".
Well, I'm surprised they ate the flag on this one, too. Kalen Barnes, take a look. This ball is in the air. There's contact, and enough contact to where, again, he can't go up and elevate to get that ball. So, to me, I believe that was a defensive pass interference as well.
3rd down and goal. Again, Doyle showing blitz in the middle of your screen. Still tons of time on the play clock. Brooks in the backfield with Bowman. Brooks. Touchdown, Texas Tech. Hard-fought touchdown, Taj Brooks, and it's a one-score game once again.
Well, I think they fooled everybody, too, with watch Kuntz coming after the snap. It's a split zone look, and you don't know if that's going to be a release by the tight end out to the flat, if it's going to be a pass play. They hand the ball off. They get enough movement up front, create enough creases, and that's where you get the touchdown by Taj Brooks.
Quick decision by Matt Wells to go for 2. Texas Tech wants to go for 2 and make this a 3-point game. What's the best play you got? Play fake. Bowman to the end zone. Incomplete. Again, looking for Vasher. So the pass goes begging, and it is a 5-point game.
Well, and that was the right call to go for 2 there. Mathematics and analytics would absolutely say you go for 2. Texas Tech puts the ball in the end zone. They fail in the 2-point conversion, 23-18.
Texas Tech has fought back. They're within 5. Real quick drive. 5 plays, 41 yards. Took less than 90 seconds to put it in the end zone. Taj Brooks, 2-yard run. Pair of touchdowns for the freshman. And now Baylor will get the football back. Treston Ebner continues to be unavailable. So returning this kick, if there is a possibility to return it, is Josh Fleeks. Returnable right from the goal line. Fleeks. And he is stopped at the 21-yard line. So that's where Baylor will start. Gain of 25. And right now, Texas Tech selling out on the run game. Jones, nothing there. Stuck on 86 yards is Quaylen Jones. Yeah, we're showing you the back of Jason Moore. It's got to be tough when you've had a couple of bad snaps and maybe it's getting in your head a little bit.
Well, and you just never know who it's really on. Is it on Charlie? Is it on his cadence? Is it not? Is he not communicating when he wants the ball snapped?
McWilliams out of the backfield. Never really got a good grip on that football. So 3rd down. That was a gain of 4. 3rd down and long for Brewer and company. How good of a game has Colin Schooler played? Fun linebacker to watch. Plays with fury. 3rd down. Line to gain is the 50. Showing blitz, here it comes. Brewer. Schooler's got him. Colin Schooler again. Football means something to that kid.
Well, here they come on the blitz out here, and Brewer has no choice but to flush out. And you see Schooler. Look at Schooler's eyes. He's just waiting. It's not technically a spy technique, but it kind of is, because he's in that zone, and they've been playing that zone all game long where he doesn't have any responsibilities. He didn't feel any receivers behind him, and now he's just going in to read the quarterback and attacks Brewer after he has to evade the blitz.
10 tackles for Colin Schooler, 9 solo. Punt into the wind. Lowe takes a huge hop. Red Raiders get away from it, and it takes a Baylor Bear roll to the 15. So making something out of nothing. 45-yard punt, no return. Texas Tech an opportunity to retake the lead. They'll have the football when we come back. For the most part, Dave Aranda and the Baylor Bears have controlled this game by controlling the time of possession. They've had it for over 10 minutes longer than Texas Tech, but their control is starting to slip a little bit. Texas Tech has the football, and a touchdown would give them the lead.
Well, on 329 of those yards, 195 are on the ground. That's what's going to chew up the clock.
Taj Brooks. Good gain on first down. We've seen Brooks, we've seen Thompson, we've seen a little bit of Xavier White. Really 3 main backs being used by Texas Tech this afternoon. Bowman to throw, wants a bunch, wind at his back, has a man, caught! It's Ezukama! First big play of the afternoon for their star.
And that's what Alan Bowman can do. He's got the bigger arm. He knows how to play these games. Right there, you see the hand go up. He knows exactly where to put that football, perfectly placed with touch.
Brooks down to the 25-yard line. Here comes Texas Tech. That pitch and catch to Ezukama, 46 yards. By far and away the biggest play for either side in today's game. 7.5 remaining. Nothing there at all. Polk had it, swarmed and brought down.
A nice play by Tejada on the outside. He had to fight through a block by the wide receiver. Read it perfectly, played with aggression and physicality, got off the block, and was right there to make the tackle.
3rd down and 3. Bowman. Deep shot, has a man, incomplete. Oh, if that throw had been perfect, that would have been a touchdown.
Boy, they saw the single coverage that they're looking for. Both safeties providing inside help. So the outside receiver, and this was Vasher, was going to be one-on-one. And that ball had to be placed on that back pylon. And you just wonder, does the wind, did that have a factor in that throw? Oh, so close.
Good golly, Miss Molly. They have found something in Lubbock. Jonathan Garibay, leader in the clubhouse for Special Teams Player of the Week in the Big 12. The big fella with a booming leg. 2-point game. Texas Tech within a pair. Eric Ezukama, big 46-yard catch to set up the field goal by Garibay. 46 yards of leg strength. And it is 23-21. Fun game in Lubbock. First time these two teams have played in Lubbock since 2008. Game was played off campus for over a decade and then started going back and forth to campuses last year in Waco. McWilliams is the runner. A little dead leg action to get to the edge. Best run of the day, Tay McWilliams. His previous long had been 3, and this one is 15.
Yeah, watch this little dead leg, this little delay. That right there, the patience to see that block and let everything set up. Christoph Henley, the tight end, with the lead block on that left side, wasn't necessarily devastating. He just had to get in front of the guy, and he could make the cut right off of him.
Clock continues to move. Closing in on the 4-minute mark. Baylor, they've lost 4 consecutive games. Their only win coming in their opener against Kansas. Senior quarterback and Charlie Brewer. Quarterback keeper. And Brewer didn't like his odds. Baseball slide. And we're underneath 4 minutes.
Yeah, good eyes there by DeMarcus Fields, the cornerback in that situation. You get a block on the inside by the receiver, and once he feels that run presence, his eyes go right to the backfield, and he's able to get horizontal and close that thing off. And Brewer wisely gets down to the ground. No sense in taking a big shot there.
Second down and 12. Texas Tech has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Brewer, complete. Snead. Across 50. And it's just a whisker short.
Well, that was the level, the 3-level route that I was talking about. They had a guy deep. They brought a guy over from the other side to occupy that intermediate, and there he was in that little short area, wide open. 1st and 10 now for Baylor.
With the spot, he has enough for the first down. So a temporary stop, and now it's moving again. Clock underneath 3 minutes to play. Texas Tech's going to have to start thinking about using timeouts. Good use of that play clock. McWilliams spun down at the 45. And now a timeout is called. Texas Tech has to use the timeouts to try and stop the clock and get the ball back.
It's called their first time out of the half.
Ball security is the most important thing. They know it. Both sides know it. You have to protect this football when you're running in the trenches.
Second down and 6. Baylor is going to run it with the quarterback. Brewer stays on his feet, dances to the 44, and another timeout called by Texas Tech. You get a first down, it could be Katie bar the door. Third down and 5. Biggest play of the game. They need to get across the 40 to the 39.
It's a 3-man front right now, which means 8 in coverage for Texas Tech. There's a possible 4th rusher.
Just a 3-man rush. Now a 4th comes in. Ton of time. It is knocked away. Wonderful coverage. Zach McPherson. This kid looks like an All-American to me.
Already with an interception today, you're going to see him come all the way across the screen. There he is. He shows up. Great trail position. Oh, my gosh, that's a risky attempt as well. If he misses with that upfield arm, that's a touchdown. A lot of times you want to teach those guys, get that left arm right on the hip. You baseball thing with your right arm and get that arm in front of it. It's really risky to use that upfield shoulder and upfield arm, but fantastic play when you needed the Tech defense to step up.
All-Americans don't miss. And the ball is downed at the 15. A 31-yard punt. Texas Tech, they've got the football back and a whole bunch of time. They've got the wind at their back. First down run. Gain of 2. Thompson. Four-man rush. Bowman loads it up. Pass is caught. Juggled, but eventually caught. Carter, gain of 10. Keyshawn Carter.
It's just like practice. You go through all these game scenarios all the time. You rep these game scenarios. Whether you're on offense or defense, both of these guys shouldn't get too amped up right now. Just play the next play. Read your keys. Do everything that you were doing the whole game throughout. It's just like practice.
Jonathan Garibay, his first 24 hours as the #1 kicker for Texas Tech. He's getting loose. We know he's got a big leg. He's already made a 48-yarder and a 46-yarder. Bowman, a dart. That's Rigdon, Dalton Rigdon, first catch in a couple of weeks. Welcome back. Gain of 5. Bowman in trouble, evades Doyle, spits it out to Thompson. And Thompson makes a man miss, still free! Inside the 40. Huge play for the Red Raiders.
Well, how about Bowman just finding a way to get out of this blitz? It's a blitz with a little twist on the inside. They get the pressure, and he's elusive enough to get the ball out.
First down and 10. Rigdon again. Second short catch for the junior. Texas Tech has a timeout. They ever need to use it, it's available.
He's got to be very careful now because this defense knows how to jump those underneath routes.
Another short pass. This time it's Polk. And Polk has the first down. Clock will stop temporarily. 61 ticks remaining. Bowman working this drive like a surgeon. Deep shot. Nobody home. Looking for Vasher.
They tried that corner of the end zone again with the same guy, Vasher, and once again he overthrows him, but they have time. They need to settle down. They're in a good position right now. They still have one timeout. You see that ball travel, maybe caught up in the airstream again, in that jet stream with all that wind blowing. It's okay to take that shot, but you still have time on your hands right now.
Second down at 10. You can't imagine Texas Tech wants to leave it up to a kicker kicking in his first college game. Not much there, and Texas Tech, will they use a timeout? Yep, clock stops. If they don't complete anything here, if they get no more yards, this would be a 49-yard field goal, maybe 48-yard field goal for Texas Tech. So it's third down and 8. Should they not advance it at all, it'll be a bomb of a field goal. Conservative play call, but it works! Thompson slides down at the 7. I guess trying to conserve time, but
He had real estate. Why did you?
it's a
He
first
could have
down for
taken
Texas
himself
Tech.
into the end zone.
Texas Tech has the first down. They're inside the 10. Clock is moving. If they want to, they don't need to snap it again if they want to just kick a field goal. They spike the ball. I'm not sure why, but it's now second down and goal, and I think that they're not going to try for a touchdown. It's just going to be field goal or bust.
I got to take a look at this again because my eyes told me that he had a shot to the end zone. He made that one guy miss right there, and it looked like, to me, just cut it up. And you can tell.
Dean Koontz, the tight end, was like, what
Koontz
happened?
was like, wait, what are you doing? This is not the time where you set it down.
Texas Tech still in the driver's seat. They give it to Thompson again. And he is dropped at the 7-yard line. Clock continues to move. No reason to take a chance. Just call a timeout with 3 seconds left, right?
Yep. Here we go. Clock's winding down. Take the timeout. Call it.
All right. So Texas Tech is going to leave it all up
30 seconds.
to Jonathan Garibay.
Texas Tech has called their third and final timeout of the half.
This is a 25-yarder. Straight on. Jonathan Garibay. Ball game. Texas Tech a winner. Texas Tech's only other lead was 3-0 back in the first quarter. They come all the way back, and they win by a point. Jonathan Garibay, man of the hour.
How can you not be happy for Jonathan Garibay as we watch the game-winning field goal for Texas Tech? He gets his opportunity. His parents and family are surprised him yesterday by coming into town to see him. He takes over for Trey Wolff. He handles kicking and punting, everything.
What a fun ball game. That's Big 12 football at its best. Texas Tech takes down Baylor 24-23, your final score. Nice win for Texas Tech. Baylor, they have now lost 5 consecutive games. Let's send you back to the studio for more post-game coverage from LA.